For me, I believe in saying that how you do anything is how you do everything. So the way you treat your body is my reflection. For me, is a reflection of how you treat your overall life, whether it's business, relationships, who you see yourself as, and everything like that. You know?
I highly agree with what you said about the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Because I've experienced that in myself. Whenever I catch myself, half-assing something or doing a shitty job when I know I could have done better, it really makes me stop and think if I really want to, keep half-assing whatever it is I'm doing.
That's so true. That's actually something I realized a couple of days ago when I realized I was not going all out with my body, and I'm just realizing, how does this affect with the way I operate on life? And, I'm not really pushing it, so in a way I get comfortable with that part, but then I just imagine where else could I be comfortable at?
You're listening to On The Go Voice podcast, where generations meet to hear sources of relatable experiences and stories through discussions. Our goal here is to create a platform for individuals of all backgrounds to relate and find different ways others are facing similar situations in their lives. Whether someone is struggling which paths on careers to take, how to handle people and relationships in their life, creating a sustainable and positive lifestyle, or just simply looking to learn new perspectives from people with similar backgrounds and interests, this podcast is for you.
Hey, welcome to On The Go Voice podcast, the best generational podcast you'll ever tune into. I'm your host, Charles Sabiaga, and today I actually have an old guest I had in the previous season who I'm going to have co-host for this upcoming series where we're going to tackle a broad value when it comes down to fitness and health overall. So I have here my friend Edgar Cardenas. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself a little backtrack and introduce yourself to what you're doing right now.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Well, like my friend Charles said, my name's Edgar Cardenas. I've been in the fitness industry, I want to say, for about 6, almost 7 years, ever since I got out of high school. I realized I had to find a different outlet besides, going out partying and getting high with my friends.
So, are you telling me you don't get high or party with your friends anymore?
I don't party anymore.
Anyway, so if you guys ever follow Edgar, he's always posting obnoxiously about squats and forms. So he's very professional. I've worked out with him a few times, so he knows what he's doing. He'll correct you. You do a lot of correctional exercise, right?
Yes. Like I said, ever since I graduated high school, I joined a gym, and then ever since then, that's kind of where everything started. I've been very fortunate enough to be surrounded by a lot of people that have a lot of experience and plenty of years in this industry. So that was kind of like a shortcut. I was able to learn a lot in a very short amount of time.
Yes, sir.
I've learned from people from many different backgrounds, many different sports, different skills. So I've kind of been able to learn a little bit about everything, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
I'm still learning. 7 years is nothing compared to other people in this industry.
Exactly. And that's why I have you here, because we're going to hand it over to professionals or people who are branding themselves in that aspect. And just to let you guys know, this is actually unscripted. This is literally our third time recording this because we messed up the first introduction. So we're going off bad, and we were just thinking hey man, what should we title this? We're going at such a broad scale. We probably won't have it by the end of this podcast. However, we got a couple people talking about the vitamins and meal prepping, and I think, we're going to tackle on how they do that and why it benefits people. And I think that's something that people need to, or at least be able to take a listen and step back and hey, I never thought about that, right? I mean, Edgar, you competed in the physique competition as well at one point, or maybe
yes,
right? Okay,
a while
cool.
back.
Yeah, and why don't you actually share your experience at that point? I mean, I'm sure that was a different experience, and you have a lot of friends who are competing as well, right?
Yeah, that was kind of when I barely started getting into fitness. I was fresh out of high school. That was kind of like the thing that was peaking, that was trending in the fitness industry. So that's what I decided to go ahead and try out. It was very difficult. Basically the dieting mentally, when you have work, school, blah blah blah, I don't want to say it's like the hardest thing ever, but it's definitely hard in your mind, handling all these things.
Yeah.
But in a way, it just it makes you, I want to say, a harder worker. Not just in the sense of working out and eating good.
Yeah.
But it makes you want to excel at other things in life, and that's kind of why that's pretty much been the only thing that I've stuck with after high school.
Okay.
I'm a person that I change my mind all the time. I'll start one project and sometimes I won't even finish it, and then I went to another project. My mind is just everywhere. Luckily, fitness has been, I guess you can call it, my anchor. No matter how shady a day's going, as long as I get to hit the gym and have a good workout, that's a good day.
Yeah.
Basically.
Exactly. And just so a little teaser for anybody listening, because I already got approved by a couple of people that we were gonna interview for this series. We have people who start up their own first ever expo out here. We're going to talk about the experience of making out that. Someone who started up their own meal prep company, the benefits of doing that and why. What are they serving? We also have someone who started up a gym here recently in Port Hueneme. Definitely, would you say it's a more of bodybuilding, powerlifting kind
of, it's more of a strength training gym.
Don't give away the name yet, but I'm sure people will be able to give a guess. And we also have someone who said that they will talk about their experience body when it comes down to the MMA.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
that's gonna be pretty dope.
Even though there's already a good amount of, I guess you could say, fitness podcasts out there, the cool thing about what we're doing is we're just focusing like on our local community.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it'll be pretty cool to bring a spotlight to people that are trying to do big things and get the Ultra's name out there.
Yeah, I mean it's not just the aspect of like getting the cool. Yeah, we are tackling our own area codes as well, which is pretty nice. Giving back to the local community, giving a spotlight to them. However, the On the Go Voice podcast is the podcast or brand itself that's generated to tackle multitudes of niches where we interview and or talk to different people about certain aspects and experiences in life that other people can relate. I don't just want it to become like an informational podcast where people come to. I want to be able to like take a step back of driving down the car, take a listen. Oh hey, I never thought about that. Cool. Even if you tune in for 5 minutes, perfect. That's all I want, and that's if it serves you and it gives you some value, perfect. It's something you can tune into instead of listening to the news out there where there's so many barrages of information that's not necessary.
Yeah, it's just filling up your mind with nonsense.
Exactly. So I'm glad that Edgar pointed that out. That's one of the reasons why we're able to start up the series. So I'm excited to have him on board. And
so what about you, Charles? Like, like how has like fitness been in? How do you?
You know what? That's actually a great direction and point. Because
like, do you even lift, bro?
What's that? Do I even lift? Oh man, I haven't heard that phrase in quite a long time. So the funny thing is, when I got started in fitness, actually, bro, it wasn't because it was just like a part of me or anything. I was actually doing football at one point. I was hanging out with the wrong group, and when I graduated high school, I was actually a little insecure about myself. I didn't like being skinny. I wanted to get all the girls. I wanted to get attention, and eventually, once I got out of high school, I used my financial aid money and to get some fitness experience at the local gym by my house at the time, and then I invested in a fitness trainer. Ever since then, the foundation of just working out and being healthy solidified as I realized that it wasn't just about like how I looked, it was about the process and becoming it, you know, making it a habit, you know, just like it became a ritual. And so over the time I learned different things. I went from just, you know, natural learning how to take in supplements, you know, counting my calories and all that stuff, and I'm still learning, like, to be honest. And I did some calisthenics, and it was just fun to learn overall.
Oh yeah, I remember like, when you were doing
I did like 2 months of just pure calisthenic training in order for me to learn muscle ups, and I'm glad I can still do it. So, you know, I'm still learning, so now I'm excited to have other people talk about, you know, what got them involved. And other than that, I mean, we still don't have a title.
Yeah, we need to figure out a title. We didn't even think about that.
we were thinking of going somewhere like
that's a good question.
Wellness or something. But
I just don't like the word mindful.
Yeah. Are people not mindful enough? Well, that's exactly why. You know, people need to be more mindful about what they're doing, because a lot of people are just working out.
True.
Just because there's an image, or that everybody works out, like, oh, I have to work out. But did they ever take a look back and see how that reflects on their lifestyle? You know, for me, I believe in saying that how you do anything is how you do everything. So the way you treat your body is my reflection. For me, is a reflection of how you treat your overall life, whether it's business, relationships, you know, who you see yourself as, and everything like that. You know?
No, definitely, yeah. I highly agree with what you said about the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, because I've experienced that in myself. Whenever I catch myself, you know, half-assing something, or, you know, doing a shitty job when I know I could have done better, it really makes me stop and think if I really want to, you know, keep half-assing whatever it is I'm doing.
That's so true. You know, that's actually something I realized a couple of days ago, and I was just not, when I was realized I was not going all out with my body, and I'm just realizing, how does this affect with the way I operate on life? And, you know, I'm not really pushing it, so in a way I get comfortable with that part, but then I just imagine where else could I be comfortable at, you know? So that's exactly, you know, that's a great reason to bring this up into the podcast, instead of just people talking about business experiences, their successes. We want people to tackle the undocumented conversations that we don't get to fully experience, but we will have over the gym. Like, hey bro, you know, what are you doing for workouts, or what are you doing for meals? Like, we don't get to hear all that. We usually hear from like experts. And,
yes.
We don't get the natural conversation, and I'm hoping that with this podcast that we'll be able to tackle that multitudes of the conversation, you know, just different paradigms and context that people are coming from. So, other than that, I mean, wow, that was 11 minutes.
That was pretty long.
We just talked about random stuff. So, I hope one day we can be able to have this continuous conversations and just be able to document it without, you know, being scripted and having interviews are cool. You know, the one I had yesterday was really nice, you know, and it's really great, but I also want to expand on that subject. So I'm pretty excited for this. Yeah. So anything else you want to say before we
I think this is good for now. I think we can get deeper into stuff in future episodes.
Yeah, we'll think of something.
Yeah,
literally I just told them, hey bro, just come over. Let's put something out. So I'm excited. You guys are gonna love it. We have some amazing people, and if not this series, then the next series for next season. So,
I'm sure we have some pretty cool people coming up.
Alright guys, thanks for listening. And this is Charles tuning out.
Al rato.